Mr. Chairman. Sorry, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, on the onset, I would like to congratulate my colleague and comrade, the Honorable Dr. Ashni Singh, Senior Minister in the Office of the President, with responsibility for finance, for bringing to this House the most transformative and people-centered budget. You, my comrade, continues to amaze Guyanese with your eloquence and the way you captured and offer resolutions to the issues affecting them. You presented a budget by the PPP Civic that is based on the PPP Civic Manifesto, and you also include His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali's vision for one Guyana. Thank you, comrade. Mr. Speaker, I would like to recognize the hardworking staff at the Ministry of Finance and all government agencies who contributed to the preparation of Budget 2023 under the theme, Improving Lives Today, Building Prosperity for Tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, please allow me to clarify a few issues raised in this House by members of the opposition. Sir, I would like to state that no amount of spinning of the truth with a web of lies will change the reality of this budget.
You have to withdraw lies. Yeah, but I asked that you withdraw lies. I didn't hear that.
This budget is for all people, and it will begin the transformation of Guyana into a modern country. Mr. Speaker, Budget 2023 focuses on people, infrastructural enhancement, and economic diversification. The transformation plan outline aims at improving the lives of everyone, all Guyanese. Mr. Speaker, we understand that this is a debate, and in every debate, there is a proposition and an opposition. And the responsibility of the opposition is to destroy the credibility of the proposition. Well, sir, we are not here to be destroyed. We are here to inform the Guyanese and correct all the distortions. Sir, our Guyanese sisters and brothers are smart people. They know that this budget was prepared with them in mind. They know that this budget was prepared with them to give them a future that they all deserve. They know that the PPP civic government is serving their interests. Mr. Speaker, we will continue to forge ahead to improve our people's lives, the infrastructure, to diversify this economy, to strengthen our legislative system, and to improve our services across Guyana. Sir, economic growth and development will directly improve people's socioeconomic and psychosocial well-being. We will build a Guyana that will be admired by all, while we maintain our cherished Guyanese hospitality. Mr. Speaker, to drive the transformation projects outlined in the budget, Guyana needs a workforce that is educated and skilled. This workforce will build the one Guyana envisioned. This workforce will be created through the gold scholarships, the Board of Industrial Training that they do, the more than a couple, well, dozen of courses, the WIN training program. Of course, we have the University of Guyana, the premier tertiary educational facility, and the numerous educational institutions around Guyana. But I refer to the above three because they are fully financed by the government of Guyana. Mr. Speaker, the larger percentage of the gold scholarship beneficiaries are women, and the WIN program also caters to the need of mostly women, while BIT focuses on improving the skills of the youths, including young women. Mr. Speaker, this budget is gender-focused and gender-sensitive. Mr. Speaker, the projected infrastructural expansion and beautification of our country will amaze all. We cannot continue to be wowed by other people's country. We have to work together to make Guyana into the paradise it can be. Mr. Speaker, do you remember why we are lagging behind other parts of the world? It is because of what the PNC did to us for 28 years between 1964 and 1992. It was their mismanagement, rigged elections, starvation, and bankrupt policies that stymied Guyana's economic growth and development. Those same bankrupt ideas were exhibited between 2015 and 2020 that resulted in the economy contracting and people were kicked out of their jobs. And imagine, on top of all of that, the increased taxation. That pushed our people further or backwards into impoverishment. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minister of Finance outlined numerous infrastructural projects, which includes the four-lane Damarara Harbor Bridge, the highway from Ogle to Eccles, the many hinterland bridges, the farm-to-market roads, highways, the refurbishment of community roads and bridges, not forgetting gas-to-shore project. Sir, these projects will contribute to improving people's lives and save them time and money. Good roads will get people from one place to another in a shorter span of time. Mr. Speaker, the developmental projects outlined will create jobs and put billions of dollars in disposable income into the pockets of working class Guyanese. And sir, when money goes into family, women benefits, children benefits, elders benefits. Mr. Speaker, allow me to deviate for a minute. Sir, let me remind you how taxpayers' money was spent by the coalition while in government between 2015 and 2020. Remember the drug bonds, sir? Only two I will remind you of. A small house they rented from one of their allies and paid $12.5 million per month in rent. Can you remember the $1+ billion that was spent to build the Durban Park Stadium that now houses vagrants? Can you remember the $600 million that the Auditor General said that could not be accounted for? Sir, we can spend the rest of the night here and debate APNU AFC incompetence and how they squander the money of the taxpayers while they were in office. Mr. Speaker, APNU AFC coalition laments that 2023 budget has nothing for workers or Guyanese. Let me remind ourselves of the APNU AFC salary increases paid to public servants between 2015 and 2020. Sir, public servants know that the increases they were given during 2015-2020 was a sham, Mr. Speaker. They were more impoverished and mothers had a difficult time providing for their children. Ask mothers about the 10,000 because we care cash grant that it took away from our children. And Mr. Speaker, they had the audacity to impose 14% VAT or taxes on school items, medical supplies, and food items. Ask elders and they will tell you how they were affected when the water subsidy, when the subsidy for electricity and water was taken away. Ask elders how they felt when the VAT was imposed on those very utilities, including internet, food, and medical supplies. AFC gave openly, then stealthily took it away in taxes from our people. Mr. Speaker, let us talk about the PPP civic government, what it has done in the last 2.5 years for our people in relation to salaries and the billions of dollars in disposable income that have been put into the pockets of our people. Firstly, no taxes were imposed on our people in the last 4 budgets. VAT was removed from food items, school supplies, medical items, medication, machineries, equipments, and the latest one, sir, VAT was removed from housing materials. We have a housing boom in this country, and this is a very welcome initiative. Sir, VAT was removed from water and electricity and internet. Several taxes were restored to 2015 levels. Land rents in MMA was restored to 2015 levels. And sir, in 2022, income tax threshold was raised from 65 to 75,000. And this year, it was raised from 75 to 85,000. When we raise the tax threshold, sir, we like to be silent and we like to criticize. But this tax threshold put, no matter how small amount, it has put some money in the pockets of our workers. In 2021, over 50,000 public servants, teachers, members of the disciplinary services, and government pensioners received 7% retroactive salary to January. You come here every single year, you criticize the budget of not raising salary, but you know what? We give increased salaries at the end of the year, and women can take that money and go and buy a hell of a lot of things and give it to their families. Sir, in 2022, approximately 52,000 of those workers were given increase in salaries of 8% retroactive to January. Sir, in December 2022, President Ali announced major salary increases for doctors, nurses, and health workers, law enforcement officers, and military personnel. They were also given a one-off cash grant, military personnel, at the end of the last year. Sir, increased salaries for that level of workers is a manifesto promise kept. In 2020, household received $25,000 COVID cash grant, and all frontline workers received COVID-19 packages in their salaries. This continued in 2021, and our hinterland sisters and brothers also benefited. Mr. Speaker, you are aware of the stimulus packages or cash grants that were given to our people, sugar workers, fishermen, children with disability, etc., to help them with poverty alleviation. Mr. Speaker, can you remember the APNU AFC promise of a good life to Guyanese between 2015 to about 2018? Can you remember that the Minister of Finance, Mr. Winston Jordan, changed his narrative in 2019 budget when he said his government never promised a good life in the first 5 years? Well, all of us probably were hearing a different music. Sir, can you remember the slogan of a good life that was accompanied by the slogan of this is our time? Sir, it was this kind of false promises that caused the voters to cast them aside in 2020, and democracy was restored in August 2020 after 5 long months of APNU AFC varied attempts of rigging the March 2020 elections. But sir, they forgot one very, very important thing. This is not 1964 to 1992. This is an era of social media, internet, science, and technology. In this era, our people are educated, they listen, assimilate, rationalize, and more, they read and they observe. Experience became their greatest teacher, and they know that all they received from APNU AFC between 2015-2020 is a promise of a good life that became a good lie. Sir, we in the PPP Civic do not make empty promises. Our manifesto promises were carefully considered to guarantee maximum benefits for all. Now, it is implementation time. And sir, we are known for not breaking promises, and we are known to work hard to defend democracy, and we will build a prosperous Guyana for all to enjoy. Mr. Speaker, people are living healthier lives today because of the vast improvements in medical science and because of the increased number of doctors available to patients and to improve their lives. Sir, the PPP civic government, from 100 and something doctors, we have about 1,500 doctors across this country. That is a very, very important point to note. And this is something the opposition benches, the honorable members on the opposition benches seems to forget. Sir, to guarantee and improve healthcare systems, hospital and health centers will be equipped with modern amenities, trained staff, and improved services. This is a welcome initiative in rural and hinterland communities. Sir, every district across Guyana has healthcare system, and hinterland communities have health outposts, health workers, and medics. Further, Health centers across Guyana have doctors, and most have pharmacies, and many are moving to provide labs so that patients do not have to travel to main hospitals to get their blood work done while being ill. Sir, we promised improving lives today, building prosperity for tomorrow. Sir, this is what we mean. Reducing maternal death, improving antenatal care, building new hospitals in rural communities, and equipping them with human and technical resources, improving diagnostic capabilities, and bringing healthcare closer to home. Mr. Speaker, to reduce and eliminate maternal deaths and child mortality, the new state-of-the-art hospital is a dream come true for expectant mothers. This hospital is a direct benefit for our women. 2023 budget is a promise made and a promise kept.
Honorable member, this is a good time to seek an extension for you so that you can conclude.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to ask that my colleague be given additional time to complete her presentation.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable member, you have 5 minutes to conclude your
Mr.
presentation.
Speaker, 8,000 of the 20,000 house lots allocated in the last 2 years were allocated to women. Sir, we have done a fantastic job of ensuring that households have access to potable water, and we will be spending the next couple of years to work on ensuring that households receive treated water. Sir, in the 1970s and 80s, the older comrades or the older persons in this house will remember that women used to have to walk miles away from their homes to fetch a bucket of water to give their family to drink. Now, that time is spent with their children and with their family. Quality time, sir, is diverted elsewhere. Gold scholarships, sir. As promised, 14,000 of the 20,000 scholarships were awarded. And guess what, sir? About 60% of those are given to women because the women are coming forward and applying for the scholarships, right? Yeah. So imagine that, sir. This budget, and the opposition is saying this budget has nothing for people. It boggles one's mind to understand where they're coming from. Can you remember, sir, that in the 1970s and 80s, many girl children could not have access to tertiary education? It was because, sir, of the compulsory national service. Well, sir, gold scholarship doesn't tie anybody to anything. Imagine how far we have moved ahead. We are building, sir, an educated nation that will take Guyana from where it is to where it's supposed to be. Sir, parents of almost 200,000 children are waiting anxiously for the Because We Care and Uniform Cash Grant of $40,000. One of my staff, sir, came to me and said, Ms. Veerasammy, is it true I'm going to be getting $40,000 for my children? You mean this year I don't have to spend a cent from my pocket to buy school things for them? I said, yes. Comrade, y'all didn't give them a cent. Y'all took it away. Sir, even children in private schools are receiving the same benefit. Sir, not like the David G. buses, boats, bags, boots, bicycle program that benefited the children of certain communities. Sir, this budget has allocated funds to ensure that 85,000 children benefiting from the school feeding program. Sir, when parents don't have to provide meals for their children, monies remain in their pocket to do something else. Sir, the WIN program is working excellently, reaching out to women and girls across Guyana. More than 8,500 women and a few men were trained in the last 2 years. And sir, I had called out the ministers of the coalition while we were in opposition, telling them, encouraging them to use the institution to educate our girls. Sir, we are back on par. Thank you, Dr. Vindhya Prasad. Old age pension, we decry the monies given to old age pensioners. Well, sir, old age pensioners are not only given $5,000 in increase, their VAT was removed from those utilities, and guess what? Water subsidy was given back to them. Sir, children 80 up to 18 years old receive that cash grant. But sir, that is not enough. Those children are going to be put on a fixed establishment where they will be given that public assistance. And sir, over the years, public assistance will continue to grow and parents are going to get more help for them. Sir, under the coalition, one could not access wheelchair. Just one more point, sir. Under the coalition, parents could not have access wheelchair for their children or their family members. This has been remedied by the PPP civic government. No one will go without a wheelchair, a walker, or a walking stick. We must respect the people who are suffering from disability. Sir, I commend this budget for approval. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable members, we have completed our business for today. I now call on the Acting Prime Minister, the Honorable Member Anil Nandalal, to
Thank you,
move the
sir.
adjournment.
Sir, I move the adjournment of the assembly to tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for continuation.
Thank you, Honorable